What if the most powerful throne in the world was never meant to bring peace, but chaos? Before the wars, before the betrayals, and before the rivers ran red with blood, there was a throne, cold, sharp, and merciless. The Iron Throne isn't just a seat of power, it's a warning. Forged from the swords of defeated enemies, it silently tells one truth: power here is taken, not given, and it always demands a price. Welcome to Westeros, a land where loyalty is temporary, and trust can get you killed. At first glance, it looks like a world of kings, queens, and noble honor. But beneath the royal banners lies a darker reality. Every smile hides a secret. Every alliance is a ticking time bomb. And every promise is meant to be broken. The great houses rule this land like predators circling the same prey. House Stark stands for honor, but honor in this world is a dangerous weakness. House Lannister thrives on wealth and manipulation, proving that gold can buy power, but not loyalty. And House Baratheon sits on the throne, holding a crown that is already beginning to crack under pressure. But here's the twist: this isn't a story where heroes rise and villains fall. In this world, the good die early, and the ruthless survive longer. Decisions are not about right or wrong, they're about survival. One wrong move, one misplaced trust, and everything collapses. As the story unfolds, alliances shift like sand. Friends become enemies overnight, and enemies become unlikely allies when it suits them. War is not just fought on the battlefield, it's fought in whispers, in secret meetings, and behind closed doors. And slowly, a terrifying truth begins to emerge: the Iron Throne doesn't bring order, it creates chaos. Because the moment someone sits on it, the game begins again. In this game, you win or you die. But what if winning is the real curse? In this world, wars are not just fought with swords, they are fought with words, secrets, and silent betrayals. Behind every closed door, deals are made, and broken within moments. A simple conversation can decide the fate of kingdoms, and a single whisper can start a war. This is not just a battle for the throne, it's a deadly game of minds, where the smartest player doesn't always survive. But the most ruthless often does. Every ruler believes they control the game, yet the truth is far more dangerous: the game controls them. Ambitious leaders rise by manipulating trust, spreading fear, and turning allies into pawns. Friendships are illusions, loyalty is temporary, and betrayal is inevitable. The moment someone gains power, they unknowingly paint a target on their back. Because in this world, every victory creates new enemies waiting in the shadows. And then come the twists. The moments that shock, disturb, and change everything. A trusted ally suddenly becomes a traitor. A powerful king falls in an instant. A carefully planned strategy collapses because of one unexpected move. These are not accidents, they are the true nature of the game. Unpredictable. Merciless. Brutal. But the most terrifying truth is this: winning doesn't mean survival. Those who climb closest to the throne begin to lose something far more important: their humanity. Power slowly transforms them, turning fear into cruelty, ambition into obsession, and justice into destruction. As battles rage across the land and blood is spilled in the name of power, one question echoes louder than ever: is the throne worth the cost? Because in the end, the game doesn't just destroy the defeated, it consumes the winners too. How does a powerless girl become the most feared ruler in the world? Once forgotten, once sold, once treated as nothing more than a pawn, she begins her journey in exile. A young princess stripped of her home, wandering through the harsh lands of Essos with no army, no throne, and no true power. At first, she is fragile, surviving through fear, manipulation, and dependence on others who only see her as a tool for political gain. But beneath that silence, something begins to awaken. Her transformation doesn't happen overnight, it is forged through pain, loss, and fire. Every betrayal she faces hardens her will. Every humiliation strengthens her resolve. And slowly, the girl who once had no voice begins to speak like a queen. She learns that power is not given, it is taken. And if necessary, burned into existence. Then come the dragons. Born from myth, thought to be extinct, they become the living embodiment of her destiny. With them, she is no longer just a refugee. She becomes a force of nature. Armies fall to their knees, cities tremble at her name, and fear spreads before she even arrives. But power always carries a shadow. As she rises, so does her belief that she alone can break the wheel of tyranny. Yet the line between justice and destruction begins to blur. Each victory demands sacrifice. Each act of liberation leaves ashes behind. And the most dangerous question emerges, not from her enemies, but from within her story itself. Has Daenerys become the very thing she once swore to destroy? Because in the world of fire and blood, even the purest intentions can burn everything down. While humans fight for a throne, something far more terrifying is coming. Far beyond the kingdoms, beyond politics, beyond the hunger for power, lies a place no king truly controls, the Wall. A massive frozen barrier standing like a warning between life and something ancient, silent, and forgotten. For generations, it was believed to be enough to keep the darkness out. But the truth is far more terrifying, the darkness was never gone, it was only waiting. As the nobles of Westeros destroy each other in endless wars for the Iron Throne, they remain blind to the slow awakening beyond the north. In the frozen wastelands, where no sunlight survives and silence feels alive, something begins to move again. The dead do not stay dead here. Ice-covered eyes open. Forgotten corpses rise. And an army that feels no pain, no fear, and no mercy begins to form. The White Walkers are not just enemies, they are a force of extinction. They do not negotiate, they do not surrender, and they do not care who sits on the throne. Their purpose is simple, to erase all life. And yet, the living continue their petty wars, unaware that their greatest enemy is not sitting on the throne, but marching toward it. Every ignored warning, every dismissed story, every broken oath from the Night's Watch adds to the danger. Because while kingdoms fall through betrayal and war, this enemy brings something worse than defeat, absolute silence. And as the cold spreads, the terrifying realization emerges, no army, no crown, and no ambition will matter if the living cannot unite. But in a world addicted to power, unity is the hardest war to win. Legacy of Game of Thrones. In the end, who truly won the Game of Thrones? The story leaves behind a legacy of chaos, betrayal, and shattered thrones. It redefines storytelling by killing heroes, blurring morality, and showing that power always demands a price. In the end, no one truly wins, the game consumes everyone. And the real question remains, was the throne ever worth it? Subscribe my channel for more interesting and knowledgeful videos.